Indonesia has various cultures from its local ethnics. Each region has its different characteristics. Madiun is a city located in East Java. Its motto as Kota Gadis, Perdagangan, Pendidikan, dan Perindustrian, Universitas PGRI Madiun (Unipma) plays a major role to develop the quality of education both nationally and internationally. Universitas PGRI Madiun (Unipma) has achieved some award, winning the award of Top University Aku from Cooperative 7, getting Institution Accreditation B, winning national competition grants, and many more. Unipma has 2 postgraduate programs and 4 faculties for undergraduate program with 22 departments. Postgraduate program, Indonesian language and literature education, and social science education. Undergraduate programs, Faculty of Teacher Training and Education, Faculty of Health Sciences and Science, Faculty of Engineering, and Faculty of Economics and Business. To support students' activities and develop students' talents and creativities, there are also some students' activity centers: choir, band, theater, modern and traditional dance, karate, student regiment, and scout. In encouraging the smart and competitive alumni, Unipma also provides representative facilities, convenient classrooms, Campus 1, Campus 2, Campus 3, library, laboratories, micro-teaching and computer, sports center, language and culture center, Graha Cendekia, dormitory, gamelan room. Universitas PGRI Madiun (Unipma) commits to give learning-oriented education and student independence to develop their abilities and skills by organizing some activities such as national and international seminars.
Universitas PGRI Madiun, smart and competitive.
Unipma, smart and competitive.
Let me give you a little introduction. Scientist forum are very important to follow because there is so much information that will get. Information will be better understood if there is an effective discussion. So I hope the whole audience can follow discussion as well as possible. Well, next, I convey the rules in parallel session today. Number 1, the deliver of material for each speaker we give for 15 minutes. And then, as long as a speaker deliver the material, participants are not allowed to interrupt. And number 3, the question and answer session will be open after each speaker deliver the material. Okay, let's start this parallel session. Let us go to the first speaker with a title, Antibacterial Potential of Locally Formulated Disinfectant or Anticipate from IPA Biotechnology. Please welcome Ms. James Paul Tapuli Madika from MSU. Please welcome.
Can you see now my presentation?
Yes, I can see.
Okay, thank you very much. So good morning to everyone. I am James Paul Madigal from Mariano Marcos State University, Philippines, and it's my pleasure to present to you our research titled Antibacterial Potential of Locally Formulated Disinfectant Antiseptic from NIPA Bioethanol. Here are my co-authors, Ms. Chiara Celine Suarez, Karil May Ramos, Jason F. Cariaga, and Dr. Shirley Agrupis. Until now, the war against the unseen enemy is still ongoing. This enemy affects the entire planet, particularly the health, economy, and education sectors in each affected country. In September 2020, the World Health Organization reported more than 25.89 million reported cases of COVID-19 and more than 860,000 death cases affecting over 200 countries. Until now, the number is gradually increasing over time because of the emergence of the new variants of SARS-CoV-2. During the lockdown, due to the pandemic, we experienced the so-called pandemic pantries, which defines as the spikes of stock filling of emergency supplies all around the world. Research literature says that the sale of hand sanitizer skyrocketed by 300% and 470% in the last week of February and first week of March 2020, respectively. During that time, here in our province, Ilocos Norte, the northern part of the Philippines, where our university located, had a great surge of demand for sanitation and disinfection productions, leading to the shortages in supply. The bioethanol research here at MMSU started as an attempt and response to help the country mitigate the limited supply of feedstock for bioethanol production. When the COVID-19 pandemic struck in early 2020, we immediately redirected our research activities to help the fight against the disease. Hence, the goal of our project was temporarily redirected from the production of fuel-grade ethanol to the production of 70% ethanol for disinfectant. The main goal of this redirection is to augment the dwindling supply of alcohol in our province and in the whole region. Now, our team distributed approximately 6,000 liters of locally formulated disinfectant to local government units, non-government agencies, private institutions, and even our nearby provinces. But before we discharge or distribute our product, we check the quality of our product, particularly the antimicrobial efficacy. When we say NIPA, this is the locally formulated 70% sanitizer disinfectant product produced amid COVID-19. This product produced from high-grade NIPA bioethanol using our proprietary fermentation and distillation technologies. Now, the objectives of our study is to explore the antibacterial potential of locally formulated NIPA whole disinfectant antiseptic as an alternative alcohol formulation amid COVID-19 pandemic. These are the specific objectives. We determined the susceptibility pattern of the test organisms at various concentrations, determine the MIC and MBC, determine the efficacy of NIPA disinfectant in reducing viable counts over time, and we assess the germicidal potential of our product. These are the research strategies wherein we conducted these strategies to meet our objectives. First, we produced the NIPA whole or 95% NIPA whole using our proprietary fermentation and distillation technologies developed by MMSU. And these 95% NIPA bioethanol were further formulated to produce 70% alcohol as disinfectant and antiseptic. Then they were subjected to antimicrobial assay to evaluate its potentiality as disinfectant and antiseptic. And lastly, these products were distributed to the government offices and other agencies in our province. Now, as the findings or the research findings of our study, in terms of the susceptibility test, it showed that the formulation 70 to 80% gave the highest inhibitory activity against Staphylococcus aureus, while minimal inhibitory effect against Escherichia coli was observed. And the data suggests in this part of our study there should be a further assay, like the minimum inhibitory assay should be conducted. So as a result of the minimum inhibitory concentration assay, we found out that the 95% NIPA alcohol formulation against E. coli showed the highest inhibition activity, and 75% formulation showed highest inhibition activity against S. aureus or Staphylococcus aureus. So from this result, we further subjected these formulations to MBC or minimum bacterial concentration assay to determine the lowest concentrations that kills 99.9% of cells of the test organisms. The MBC assay revealed that the 95% alcohol showed bactericidal activity to all test organisms, while the other formulations only showed bacteriostatic activity. This is just a photo documentation showing you the MBC assay result. As you can see and observe that the growth of test organisms is decreasing when the alcohol concentration is increasing. We also subjected our products in reducing viable bacterial counts assay to evaluate its efficacy in killing the bacterial cells. As you can see that the total reduction of E. coli cells observed at 95% concentration with 100% reduction after 5 minutes contact time to disinfectant and antiseptic, percent reduction of the E. coli cells after 15 minutes contact time to NIPA disinfectant was observed to be higher at 70% and 80% concentrations. Our product were confirmed or sent to the Philippine Department of Science and Technology Regional Office, Microbiology Division, to confirm the antimicrobial susceptibility of our NIPA alcohol formulations. As you can see, that the NIPA alcohol 95% showed the highest inhibitory against all test organisms, while the locally formulated 70% NIPA alcohol showed partially active effect against the test organism used by the Department of Science and Technology. We also subjected our product to the germicidal potential assay using the Glow Germ Kit, and we found out that hand washing with the use of soap is the most effective among the interventions applied in this assay. However, the data reveals that the use of commercial alcohol or NIPA disinfectant without proper hand washing with soap will not eliminate the germs. Hence, the effectiveness of the different NIPA disinfectant antiseptic formulations is heightened with proper hand washing using soap. So as a conclusion of our study, confirmatory antimicrobial test supports the findings of the present study that 95% NIPA alcohol showed bactericidal activity, while NIPA alcohol formulations from 70 to 80% is bacteriostatic. Thus, the formulated NIPA disinfectant antiseptic possesses antibacterial potential to inhibit the multiplication and spread of infectious pathogens such as Escherichia coli and Staphylococcus aureus. These are just the further activities of our research, so we need to have another further validation on the efficacy and quality of the product, further assays and its organoleptic properties, rheology, and the like. Methanol analysis should also be conducted prior to product certification under the Food and Drug Administration. Before I end, I would like to acknowledge the following: the Philippine Commission of Higher Education, our provincial government of Ilocos Norte, of course, our university and our Bioenergy Research Center, the Department of Science and Technology Regional Office 1, and Dr. Mark R. Limon. Thank you very much and have a good and safe morning to everyone.
Okay, thank you, Mr. James. Very interesting, yeah. Although not my field. Okay, I invite the seminar participant to give question to the speaker. Any question?
May I, Mr.?
Okay, Ms. Lukita Sari.
Okay, Prof. James, this is a very nice research, and I want to know about the NIPA disinfectant. There is maybe the local local in Philippines, or what's the product from? And you have a big production and then a distribution. What the strengths or weakness when you product, and maybe the adapted in participant or masyarakat, apa sih masyarakat Pak? Citizens in Philippines. Can you tell us about that, Mr. James, please?
Okay, thank you for that question, Lokita Sari. So first, you are asking how we produce the NIPA alcohol or the disinfectant.
Yes, that is a local Philippine.
Yeah, we produce here in our university during the lockdown. Our first, the main product of our project, the bioethanol project, is bioethanol for biofuel, right? But during the lockdown, during the emergence of COVID-19 last year in March 2020, we shifted or we redirected our biofuel production to 70% NIPA disinfectant, because we experienced the dwindling supply of sanitizer here in our region. So that's why we converted or we directed from biofuel to disinfectant, so that we can help in fighting the emergence or the spread of COVID-19 pandemic here in our province. So the second question is what is your experience? So how difficult you distributed your product? Yes, it is very difficult, really. But we are very thankful to our university and to the provincial government of Ilocos Norte. Even lockdown, they gave us permission to go around and to conduct the distribution in all frontliners, not only in the hospital, but also to nearby agencies, government agencies, churches, private institutions, and in even our nearby provinces. We distributed or we gave them our formulated product in the border. Not they never come to our university, but we distributed it, or we gave them to the border of between our provinces. And for the production, yeah, it is really difficult, because we are producing bulk amount or bulk volume. But again, we are very thankful to the local government units of our province, because they helped in the production of this product. Help meaning to say they donated feedstock or raw material in the production or in fermentation process and in the production of the alcohol to be formulated for 70% NIPA whole product.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mr. James, can you tell us about the NIPA plant? Yes, NIPA plant in Philippines, that is located in some ecosystem, or what is like that?
Yeah, actually the NIPA palm is located in a brackish water near the river. Yeah, I think in Indonesia you have NIPA palm, and somewhere else in Southeast Asia. But in our country, they use the NIPA palm, particularly the juice from the flower. They use it for traditional wine.
Okay.
Yeah, but because
are you use all of the plant, Mr. James, or just a flower, or just
no, we never destroy the plant.
Oh,
we just extract the juice.
Heifers,
the juice. Yeah. We call it NIPA sap. NIPA sap. Oh yeah. And that sap or juice will be used for fermentation. And don't you know that the nipa sap has natural fermentation?
Oh, yeah.
There is natural fermentation, meaning to say, in fermentation, remember that you are going to add fermenting agent or a microorganism for fermentation.
Yes.
But in nipa sap, you don't need to add microorganism because it has natural fermentation. So it lessens the cost of the production. So that's the beauty of using nipa sap as potential feedstock for bioethanol production. Yeah.
Maybe the last question: how long your fermentation for have an alcohol from nipa?
Well, since it has natural fermentation, it will last for only 72 hours, but the longest time is 5 days, if not mistaken. But after 72 hours, you can now produce alcohol. You can now extract alcohol from the fermented nipa. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. James.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
Okay, Miss Marheni. Do you have any more questions from the participant to James Paul? Okay, no, yeah. Okay, Mr. James, thank you.
Yeah, if they have questions, they can just email me on the email provided in my presentation.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
thank you very much.
Yeah. Can you close the presentation? Okay, thank you. Let's go to the second speaker with the paper title Analysis of Polyphonal in Austrian Honeys from Wanyi Tina or Mika Murkovic. Okay, we skip it. Okay, next presenter with a title Profile Bioactive Compound of Alkaloid on Sense Elacorpus Sparicus Scum by Liquid Chromatography Mass Spectrometry from Miss Cecilia Priamani from Universitas PGRI Madiun. Please welcome.
Thank you, Miss Agnes.
Okay.
Share screen dulu. Belum tampak, Gi.
Yes, I can see.
Thank you, Miss Agnes. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Cecilia Novi Primiani. I will present my research. The title is Profile Bioactive Compound of Alkaloid on Seeds, Elaiocarpus vericuscum by Liquid Chromatography Mass Spectrophotometry. My team research is Pujiati and Muhammad Arfi Setiawan from Universitas PGRI Madiun. Elaiocarpus sphericus in Indonesia is called Jenitri, is Javanese, or Rudraksha in India, taxonomic name from the Elaiocarpidae family. Can grow well in tropical and subtropical areas, spread from the Madagascar island to India, Malaysia, China, Australia, New Zealand, Fiji, and Hawaii. Genitri is widely used as a root shade. This is a fruit. Tree height about 3 to 5 meters. A fruit is dark blue fruit, and flowers are white with pink color, and there are fine hair, fine hair like my hair. Genitri is widely used as a root shade. Next, in commercial, genitri seeds are used as jewelry and the presence of electromagnetic wave and cure disease. Genitri seeds have the ability to induce electricity and electromagnetic wave. Size varies, diameter between 0.5 to 2 centimeters. Many research explain that genitri can be used in herbal medicine. One, Elaiocarpus tectorius has antioxidant and antimicrobial abilities. Two, Elaiocarpus carnitrus, anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial, anti-cancer. Elaiocarpus mastersi has antioxidant and antibacterial. 4, Elaiocarpus tonkinensis has anti-influenza. Why Elaiocarpus has potential as a medicine plant? Many research explain there are complex compounds contained in Elaiocarpus. Elaiocarpus angustifolius powder extract contain glycosides, flavonoids, saponins, alkaloids, steroid, tannin, and phenols. Elaiocarpus contain terpenoids, tannins, geranine, alkaloid, grandisin, rudrakin, flavonoid, and quercetin. Bioactive of alkaloid, glycosides, phenolic, and flavonoids, saponin, and carbohydrate. This study aimed to identify the diversity of alkaloid compound in genitri seed using LCMS, liquid chromatography mass spectrophotometry method. Process 1, sample collection, 2, sample preparation, and 3, extract purification using solid fossil extraction. One, sample collection. Genitri seed were picked up from the plant collected in forest area of Poncol Village, Magetan City, East Java, Indonesia. The seed were later separated from the flesh, dried at room temperature, and blended until a fine powder was obtained. Sample preparation. One, peel the pericarp to get the seed. Two, and then dry the seed in the oven at temperature 30 Celsius. Then blend the dried seed until smooth. Swift the seeds and we've been blended. 5, baking Genitri seed powder, half to 2 grams. Next, half 2 grams and macerated with methanol. Furthermore, the sample solution were filtered using elemental vacuum filter, obtain the filtrate and dregs. This step repeated 3 times. Then all obtained filtrate were mixed, evaporated using a rotary evaporator. Then the extract was dissolved using methanol. To separate the solid, the solution, and centrifuge. Supernatant was used, the protein precipitation. Supernatant was mixed with 3 acetonitrile. Next, the supernatant obtained when then used for further analysis. The extract purification using solid phase extraction, modification from Kunar and Hanganu. The extract was purified through solid phase extraction using C-SEP pack and cartridge column. Addition, half milliliter of the solution was put in the container. And result, this chromatogram sample, Genitri seeds in table, alkaloid groups in Genitri seeds. In this table, the level of the alkaloid group various level is there flavonoid, flavanol, glucosida, carboxylic acid, and alkaloid. Many research explain that the complexity of plant compounds has potential as medical plant. Although these studies explain that there are various alkaloid compounds as Genitri seeds, it is not been explained that alkaloid compounds play an important role in Genitri seed, because the complexity of plant compounds, they will interact with each other in the body if consumed. So that Genitri seed have the potential as medical plant. Next, conclusion. Alkaloid are one of the active compound is Genitri seeds. The benefit of Genitri as medical plant need to be investigated future, preclinical and clinical. A natural ingredient can be used in various diseases. This is because of complex compounds of natural ingredients that interacted with each other in physiological process in the body. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss Cecilia. I'm so sorry if my pronoun is wrong because the language is difficult. My fails. Okay. Okay, participant, any question to Miss Cecilia? Any question? Okay. Any question? Okay, no. Thank you, Miss Cecilia. Okay, next presenter with title Revealing Student, Environmental Habit and Electricity and Weather Usage in Their Daily Life, with author Ahmad Sukri, Muhammad Arif Rizka, Marheni Lukitasari, Eli Purwanti, Gito Hadi Prayitno from Universitas Pendidikan Mandalika and Universitas PGRI Madiun.
Okay,
you can
thank
start
you.
now.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Moderator. Please let me to share screen. Okay, my screen is, you can see my screen, Mr.?
Yes, I can see.
Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is I will presentation about our research with the title Revealing Students Environmental Habits on Electricity and Water Usage in Their Daily Life. Our team is Ahmad Sukri from Universitas Pendidikan Mandalika, Muhammad Arif Rizka from Universitas Pendidikan Mandalika, and me from Universitas PGRI Madiun, Eli Purwanti from Universitas Muhammadiyah Malang, and Gito Prayitno from Universitas Mataram. For the overview, water is the source of life and the primary support for ecosystem, so essential for a human life and the source role in the sustainable of life. And water resources have been seriously degraded and threaten both humans and animal life, causing damage to the ecosystem and disrupt the availability in quantity and quality. We know Indonesia accounts for 6% of the world water resources, but most of the areas in Nusa Tenggara Timur, Java, Bali, and Sulawesi experience a shortage of clean water supplies and lack electrical energy where demand exceeds availability. To face the current water and electricity crisis, one of the efforts is to use that sparingly in daily life. Environmental habits are behavior in everyday life because the habits refers to a terms that is widely used to predict and explain behavior. It is essential to have a pro-environmental attitude, especially for teenagers, when utilizing water and electricity resources in their daily life. So measuring student environmental habit is crucial in making regulations. So this research is described the research of measuring the environmental habits of students in their daily usage of water and electricity. Methods in this research is a survey approach on 1,348 students spread across Indonesia. The environmental habits with questionnaire is adapted from students, which has been empirically proven to have good validity and reliability. modified and adapted to the current situations in Indonesia. The questionnaire consists of 2 statements related to the use of water and electricity in daily life. For the one question is I tune off the electricity when not in use, and the EH2 is I always tune off the water faucets when not in use. And that is the students can give the answer choices with Likert scale. There are 5 demographic variable tests together to determine their effect on students' environmental habits. The variable tests are gender, student major, students' grade level, parental occupation, and student grade point average. Descriptive statistic analysis is performed with inferential statistic analysis is conducted to determine the effect of independent variable on students' environmental habits through multiple linear regression analysis. From these results, the effect of demographic factor on environmental habits shows that the regression model can predict the influence of demographic on students' environmental habits with an effect of 2.7%. That is mean although the results of demographic factor on environmental habit is minimal, this can be used to develop students' environmental habits. So the effect of its demographic variable on environmental habits, a regression coefficient analysis is performed. The results of the regression coefficient analysis shows that 2 variables, gender and student major, have a significant effect of students' environmental habits. Gender and students major variable have negative coefficient values, but however, negative values are irrational in this study, so that the negative value can be ignored. For the influence of gender on environmental habits, most female students agree and strongly agree on tuning of electricity when not in use compared to male students. So the study reveals that the awareness of female students in daily usage of water and electricity is better than male students. This is in line with Selesny, Chua, and Eldrick. When the research is say women are more caring, loving, and nurturing than men. On the other hand, men are more independent and competitive. Another indicator about the influence of student major on environmental habits. So we can see the environmental habit value for the major A. Major A is about social humanities, education, and computer major. It's not significantly different major B. Major B is science major. It is very different from major C. In the major C is science education major. So these results indicate that students in the science education or major C have the highest environmental habit value. And we can say if the high value of environmental habit in science education department is thought to be caused by how the student in this department interact more with the environment than other majors, such as social humanities major. With this interaction, student environmental knowledge will increase, which affect their behavior towards the environment. Conclusion of this study prove that demographic factor play a role in student environmental habits. Further analysis show that demographic factors such as gender and students major significant influence student environmental habits. In general, female students have better behavior than male students, especially in daily usage of water and electricity. Students in Saint Mayo and science education have better environmental habits than those in social and humanities major. This study indicates education in improving students' environmental habits in daily usage of water and electricity. That's all our research. Acknowledgements for our gratitude to Kemendikbudristek who has funded this research through the PTUP scheme in 2021 and absolutely our campus to support this research. Thank you so much. Okay, I will stop the screen.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lukitasari. Any question? Any question, participant for Miss Lukitasari? No? Okay. Okay, thank you, Miss Lukitasari. Let's go to the next presenter for title Assessment of Water Quality in Downstream Watershed for the Realization of Integrated Coastal Zone Management. Presenter Rizky Mulyani Dwi Ujianti from Universitas PGRI Semarang. Please welcome.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Moderator. My share screen. The screen is seen, Mr. Moderator.
Yes, I can see.
Yes, thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to say thanks for coming to the conference. Allow me introduce myself. My name is Rizky Mulyani Dwi Ujianti, and my partner research is Altesa Androva. I came from Faculty Engineering on Informatik Universitas PGRI Semarang. And I came from Madiun near Unipma, but I work in Universitas PGRI Semarang.
Wow. Okay.
In this opportunity, I would like to present about assessment of water quality in downstream watershed for realization of integrated coastal zone management. In this presentation, we will discuss about water quality in coastal zone management as a downstream watershed. Integrated coastal zone management is a dynamic, sustainable process designed for sustainable management of the coastal zone. ICETECH are control of coastal water, industrial waste management, land use, environmental responsibility, and etc. The participation of all stakeholders is an important recruitment of the ICETECH process. Watershed is an area that's very important to be preserved because it is very beneficial for the life of aquatic organisms. Downstream area in this watershed needs to be managed using the ICETECH process, one of which water quality analysis. In the watershed, there are pollution source is domestic waste and industrial waste, and they need the water quality analysis to realization of integrated coastal zone management. Material and methods. My sampling location in Gadang watershed, downstream coastal area Laut Jawa, Java Sea. There are coastal Analisis water quality in Balai Besar Pencegahan Pencemaran Industri Semarang. In this picture, you can see about Garang watershed. There are divided to 7 segments. Segment 1 in watershed, there are agriculture. Segment 2 is settlement and agriculture. Segment 3 is settlement. Segment 4 agriculture, forest, settlement and fisheries. Segment 5 is settlement and fisheries. Segment 6 is settlement, fisheries and industry agriculture. And segment 7 in my research field is settlement, coastal zone, and fisheries and port. There are map of Garang watershed in coastal of Laut Jawa or Java Sea. Result and discussion. The water quality analysis result is in the screen. There are temperature, total dissolved solid, total suspended solid, chemical oxygen demand, biological oxygen demand, dissolved oxygen, chromium, copper, and mangan. There are temperature range is 27 to 30. And the total dissolved solid is 183 to 40,000. 110 and there are except water quality standard, and except water quality standard is chromium and chemical oxygen demand. Step for realization of international coastal zone management in the area is number 1 is integrated water resources management and waste management, environmentally and sustainable. And number 2, coastal must be protected from pollution, domestic waste or industrial waste. Number 3, ensure sustainable use of the coastal zone and reduce process the excess their carrying capacity of water quality. And the conclusion is in water quality analysis about the total dissolved solid and copper and chromium is except that quality standard of PP 82 regulation of Indonesia. And number 2 is water quality analysis are then used to implement integrated coastal zone management. Furthermore, that the quality the downstream area or coastal is maintained. Okay, thank you, the moderator. This is my presentation. Thank you very much for your attention.
Yes. Okay, thank you. From Madiun, yeah.
Yes, I am waiting in Unipma because my home in near Unipma.
Oh yeah. Means we are neighbor.
Yeah.
Okay. Any question, participant? Any question? Okay. No, yeah. Thank you, Mr. Rizky Mulyani Dwi Unjiani.
Thank you.
Can you close the presentation?
Yes.
And stop your share screen. Can you stop your share screen? Okay, thank you. Okay, next presenter with a title, The Effect of Environmental-Based Biology Learning Model to Improve Student Critical Thinking Ability in High School. With presenter Nur Sidin from Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia. Please welcome. Okay, Mr. Nur Sidin, you can present. Okay.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Baik.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Effectiveness of experiments with biology interactional model improves student critical thinking skill in Seoul High School. Instruction nowadays science learning shifted by COVID in screen most and class that must be faced often the era global competition in the 21st century. One of the science subjects inductive in biology is learning critical thinking skill in the on which students can open biology problem data. Material tend to be abstract. One of the strength of critical thinking is when able to identify important fights in a problem being focused and able on observe tolerance of new point of view being abolished with selective ideal provides point view analytical skill that can be used on routine experiments. The Minister of National Education of Republic Indonesia number 22 on 2006 content standard reality that biology subject met all standard starting from elementary school to keep student well. The ability to analytic, systematic, creativity, and creative will, ability to work all together. By following that is critical thinking in all crucial for learning ability in biology, subject and realita and student critical thinking skill all were on data open by research. The achievement of 2018 National Action they saw it possible that Alpha score I think by all-learning head score in North Korea was 24.03 to 23.54. The Seoul airplane, the students were out about school. The problem even as crucial questionality, the critical thinking analysis. Next, Jahidin 2022-21 critical thinking can be developed by using analytic expanded it all meaningful to student score as being all combination biology material from the implement into the learning process to match student thinking needs. The Ministry of National Education, Supriyatna 20/20 fight straight that the implemental model offers in all learning concept, highlighting material for with pollution that exists in the data station environment allows for making connection between the knowledge process and its application in the large X family number of community. This is question. There are two set question of study. Or is there any difference of student critical thinking before and after applying environment-based biology in extracellular model and conventional model? Is there mean effectiveness of using environment-based instruction and study critical thinking skill? Place them and population. Faith study conducted in Seoul High School Net Konawe Regency into 2019. The population in Thick School on Asera. Total population rate 23 students. The sample of study action grain science class consists of grain 8 to ox control class 18 or when experiment class. This class consists of 74 students. Result of study. Student critical thinking skill before and after using information-based biology interactional model. The first of 5 component data decreasing flows. Minimum score for treatment is 18 for 18 after treatment is 54.50 point. Going as score is 0.018. Maximum score before treatment in 60.61. After treatment is 19.91. Going score is 0.87. Effective before treatment is 0.80. After treatment is 17 to 1.52. Going score is 0.57. Student critical thinking, student data normality test. The student critical thinking skill before and after using conventional model. Minimum score treatment is 0.18. After treatment is 24. Going 24. Going score is 0.0. Maximum score is before treatment is 57.58. After treatment is 63.64. Point score 0.56. Operate before the treatment is 33.33. After the treatment is 51.52. Going score is 0.26. Data normality test. The result of the pre-test and post-test and fail then alpha 0.05. So the data used in this study is normality distributed. The result of the normality test of the data going in conventional model using the Kolmogorov Simograph test in pre-test and post-test in is higher in alpha 0.05. The data of this study normality decently distributed. Data homogenities. Homogeneity test. Result homogeneity test. Result of data homogeneity test using 11 test is 0.037 is higher than alpha 0.005. Surrogate can be distributed. The data used in this study homogeneous. Hypothesis test. This the difference of student critical thinking skill on environment-based biology, instructional model and conventional model is because 8.74. The table is 1.68 verbality 0.00, alpha 0.050. The conventional is high, hypothesis 0 is reflected. Hypothesis. The effectiveness of impairment weights. En convencional 0.57 as medium category and conventional model with an ongoing score 0.26 as low category. Discussion. Environment-based and instructional model can improve student critical thinking skill. It is a learning model that emphasizes to practice, although student independent. The informant of the student can to next this thinking process after going through of serving on analysis active analysis. The question of assessment for by student for learning way of the answer after saying the reality of the object under investigation. There is interesting the form between environment-based learning, conventional learning, critical thinking skill with the result of that of the presence in critical thinking skill between environment-based learning and group of students who study the complement model. Conclusion. Based the result of this So on this question, the completion put 4 will in this study all as flow. 1. That is diaphragm student critical thinking before and after using environment-based instructional model and conventional model. And 2, there is on effectiveness using a environment-based learning model of student critical thinking skill. Understand? Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Nursidin. The participant, any question? Okay, no. Okay, thank you, Mr. Nursidin. Can you close the presentation?
No.
And then stop your slides. So, please, stop your slideshow, ya, Mr. Nursidin.
Yes. No.
Bisa ditutup share screen-nya?
Iya, ya.
Mr. Nursidin, you can stop the presentation. Okay, thank you. Let's go on the next presenter with a title, Silver Nanoparticles Synthesis from Dragon Fruit, Ilecarus polycythyrus, pill extra and its potential antiseptic mouthwash. With presenter Lisa Ainaya Fatiha from Hasanuddin University, Indonesia. Please welcome.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Introduce myself. My name is Lisa Ainaya Fatiha. I'm from biology of Department of Biology, Hasanuddin University. My team, Saraswati Dwiana and Eva Johannes. Next, introduction. Nanoparticle or nanosite particle around 1 till 100. Nanoparticle based on their composition can be divided into 2 types, namely organic and inorganic. One method of synthesis nanoparticle that use natural material sourced from living organisms such as plants, animals, and microorganisms that live on land or in the sea. Living organisms produce metabolites, both primary and secondary, which can reduce metals such as alkaloid, amides, protein, carbonyl group, and pigment. Secondary metabolic compounds contained in plants work by donating electron to silver ion to produce silver nanoparticle. Indonesia is one of countries in Asian continent with many natural plants or material. One of them is dragon fruit. Part of the dragon fruit, 30 till 35% in the skin of the fruit, which is very beneficial for health and beneficial for dental health and saliva. Next, one alternative to improve dental and oral health is to use mouthwash by utilizing dragon fruit peel extract Hiloserius polyrhizos because more herbal and has no toxic effect on health. Next, methodology. The first, sample preparation. The second, preparation of nitrate silver solution. The third, composition optimization. The fourth, silver nanoparticle synthesis process. The fifth, silver nanoparticle characterization. The sixth, determination of antibacterial activity by the paper dish method. The seventh, making mouthwash and observation UVV spectrophotometer. The next, antibacterial activity test. Result and discussion. The first, isolation of silver nanoparticle nitrate silver rock green synthesis using dragon fruit peel extract, Hiloserius polyrhizos. The result of the extraction of dragon fruit skin Hiloserius polyrhizos obtained show a purplish red color, where the purplish red color on the skin of dragon fruit Hiloserius polyrhizos contained active compounds, namely flavonoids, which co-react with nitrate silver to form silver nanoparticle. Flavonoid has effective properties in inhibiting the growth of viruses, bacteria, and fungi. The second, absorbance of silver nanoparticle on dragon fruit peel extract Hiloserius polyrhizos using UVV spectrophotometer. The absorbance peak of silver nanoparticle in this experiment was at a wavelength of 44.5 nanometer. This indicated that there had been a reduction process between dragon fruit extract and silver nitrate solution, forming a solution of silver nanoparticle. Colloidal solution of silver nanoparticle provided absorption peaks at wavelength around 400 till 1500 nanometer, which showed the typical surface plasma on absorption peak silver nanoparticle. Based on figure 3, show the best nanoparticle synthesis reservoir were produced at 0.25% extract concentration with a duration of 30 minutes at a synthesis temperature of 70 degrees Celsius compared to the synthesis result at 0.125% and 1.5% extra concentration, because the highest absorbance value was 444.5 nanometer with the most contrasting color change. High temperature were needed to help the reduction process. The nucleation and information of silver nanoparticle depended on the reaction temperature used. Based on the figure above, visual characterization show that the resulting colloid had formed silver nanoparticle, which were characterized by a change in the color of the solution from light yellow to reddish brown, with an increasingly concentrated intensity as the nitrate silver composition increased and after additional natrium hydroxide. The third, the effectiveness of antiseptic nanoparticle of red dragon fruit peel extract Hiloserius polyrhizos against pathogenic microba. Based on table 1, showed the result of the inhibitory test obtained at incubation for 24 hours and 48 hours. The best results were obtained at a concentration of 0.25% solution at 30 minutes on Escherichia coli bacteria of 14.5 millimeter, while Staphylococcus aureus bacteria of 18.5 millimeter. Table 2 showed the result of the inhibition test obtained from the mouthwash solution on Escherichia coli bacteria by 28 millimeter, while in Staphylococcus aureus by 25.5 millimeter. The show ability mouthwash inhibition bacteria was categorized into a very strong, inhibitory, and antimicrobial. Based on figure 13, the result of UVV spectrophotometer from mouthwash solution of dragon fruit peel extract, Hylocereus polyrhizos, showed the presence of silver nanoparticle formed with absorbance peaks at a wavelength of 148.5 nanometer, which indicated that the silver nanoparticle obtained has undergone a reduction process between the synthesis result. Silver nanoparticle at a concentration of 0.25% for 30 minutes with a mouthwash formulation of dragon fruit peel extract, Hylocereus polyrhizos. Next, conclusion in this study: the isolation of silver nanoparticle was carried out by utilizing dragon fruit peel extract, Hylocereus polyrhizos, as a bioreductant because it contained bioactive compounds, namely flavonoids, which could be used in the process of isolation silver nanoparticle. Based on the result of the UVV spectrum, the base nanoparticle synthesis results were obtained at an extract concentration of 0.25% for 30 minutes with a synthesis temperature of 70 degrees Celsius, where the absorbance peak of silver nanoparticle obtained was at a wavelength of 144.5 nanometer, while visually the isolation color changed into brown. Based on the result of the inhibition test on incubation for 24 hours, it was found that the mouthwash solution showed the presence of an inhibitory zone on the two test bacteria. Escherichia coli bacteria produced an inhibition zone of 28 millimeter, while Staphylococcus aureus bacteria produced an inhibition zone of 25.5 millimeter. It showed the most solution met dragon fruit peel extract nanoparticle, Hylocereus polyrhizos, has the potential as antiseptic. Thank you. I will return by moderator.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Lisa. Any question from the center? Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. James. In the chat, is the question addressed to Lisa or other?
Mr. Moderator, thank you. But I think Risky already answered my question in the chat box.
Oh, Risky.
Yeah, but I have question to Miss Lisa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please welcome.
Okay, so first of all, I would like to congratulate Lisa for this research. And don't you know that here in the Philippines, we love to eat dragon fruit because we love the taste and the color. Yeah. And first question is, did you conduct phytochemical analysis? Because you mentioned in your conclusion that your dragon fruit extract contains flavonoids.
Can you repeat it?
My first question is, did you conduct phytochemical analysis? And in your research, because you mentioned in your conclusion that that your dragon fruit peel extract contains flavonoids. Phytochemical analysis, it's a method used to determine the biocompounds like flavonoids, alkaloids, and others.
Thank you. Because working principle of plants in reducing silver nanoparticle is the compound's ability to plants capable of reducing charged silver to silver nanoparticle, as it is known that silver metal has a positive charge. To make silver metal nanoparticle and reduce to silver with the help of plants extract as reducing agents, where flavonoid compounds in plants can react with silver as an acid via the most reactive hydroxyl group attached to the aromatic ring carbon atom can reduce silver ion to silver nanoparticle. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Lisa. That's the chemical definition of flavonoids and its mode of action. But I'm asking if you conduct in your experiment the analysis of flavonoids. Did you conduct the experiment or research analysis on the presence of flavonoids in your extract from Hylocereus pylorhizus? But anyway, thank you for that answer. My second question is, how safe is silver nanoparticles? Because you are producing antiseptic mouthwash product. Is it safe?
Thank you. Thank you. Mouthwash is research because more herbal and has a toxic effect on health because dragon fruit plants natural, no alcohol, no sample kimia.
Okay, thank you. So it means that you never add alcohol or other ingredients. It's a pure extract or solution of dragon fruit peel extract. Because it is very interesting because of the microbial result. It shows here that the 0.25% is effective in killing the two pathogens. So my next question is, how many peel of dragon fruit were used in this study? How many grams, kilograms? And from that kilograms or volume or amount of dragon fruit, how many volume of mouthwash were produced?
I have
Oke, boleh saya bantu, Mr. Lisa? Jadi intinya ditanyakan tentang apakah ini aman di dalam penggunaannya dan seberapa ini efektif membunuh kuman terhadap produk Anda itu terhadap membunuh kuman. Dan itu komposisinya berapa persen dari komposisi yang Anda gunakan. Itu mungkin secara garis besar. Bisa dijelaskan.
Okay, thank you. I take the pill. I take the pill dragon fruits. Some sample concentration 10%. 10%. 10% from 5 kilogram.
Okay, thank you, Miss Lisa, and thank you, moderator, for the interpretation of yeah. Thank you, congratulations, Lisa.
Okay,
it's
thank you.
very interesting study.
Okay, thank you, Mr. James, and thank you, Lisa. You can stop. Okay. Okay, next presenter with a title, Potential Black Garlics, Allium sativum as Antioxidant, with a presenter Miftah Zulfa Janah, Pramudia Riwanti, Burhan Ma'arif, from Hang Tuah University, Islamic State, Universitas Maulana Malik Ibrahim. Okay, please, you're welcome.
Okay, thank you for the time and opportunity given, moderator.
Yes.
I will present about potential effect of black garlic allium sativum L as antioxidant. Introduction. Black garlic is a fermented garlic product which is hot at a temperature of 70 to 90 degrees Celsius for 12 and 14 days without any additional treatment. Several studies detail that black garlic extracts show several benefits such as antioxidant, anti-allergic, anti-diabetic, anti-inflammatory, and anti-carcinogenic effect. The antioxidant activity of black garlic can be influenced by the processing method and condition of the garlic by controlling the temperature and water content. Black garlic products contain high level of polysaccharides, proteins, phenol compounds, and sulfur compounds. The content of water-soluble sugars, polyphenols, amino acids, and flavonoids increase of decrease during the heating interaction. This can be proven based on the research of Lee et al. 2009. There was a more significant decrease in free radicals in large quantities in black garlic compared to new garlic, with increased polyphenols, and the amount of flavonoid in black garlic increased significantly during the heating interaction. Next, materials and methods, article collection and selection strategy. In this study, literature search word condition from several databases of ResearchGates, National Center for Biotechnology Information, Multidisciplinary Digital Publishing Institute, International Journal of Research and Review, ScanDirect, and Google. Literature search with keywords black garlic, DBBH method, ABTS method, FRAP method, antioxidant, and IC50 value. After searching for journals, a journal scan processing is carried out. Then the filtered journals are selected according to the keywords and research topics. After that, a feasibility test was carried out by reading all journals according to the inclusion and exclusion criteria. Next, data collection criteria. The inclusion criteria in this review journal are English and Indonesian language journal. This is a research journal of research article and original article available in full text. This case, the antioxidant activity of black garlic, which is expressed by the IC50 value and tested by the DBBH, ABTS, and FRAP methods. The journal published as research from the last 10 years from 2010 to 2020. The exclusion criteria in this review journal are journal published before 2010, journals review. The journal does not state the IC50 value with a clear nominal. Next ratio and discussion, article selection. The literature selection process was obtained with a total number of relevant journals discussion the topic. There was 18 journals that explain the potential of black garlic as an antioxidant based on the IC50 value obtained through the TBH, ABTH, and FRAP tests, which were reviewed from various research sources that have been conducted. This study will also explain the advantages and disadvantages of the TBH, ABTS, and FRAP antioxidant activity test methods. Next, article characteristic about the potential of black garlic as an antioxidant based on the IC50 value obtained through the antioxidant activity test of the TBH, ABTS, and FRAP, which were reviewed from various research sources that haven't been carried out with a literature search process summarized in Table 1. In the original article, there are 5 articles, and the research article, there are 4 articles that make observation using the TBPH, ABTS, and FRAP methods. The review article found there are 4 articles that compare the TBPH, ABTS, and FRAP methods, while there are 18 other articles that discuss the method with a value IC50 and without IC50 value. Your publication of contained article can be seen figure number 1. Okay, next. Untuk to table 1, black garlic antioxidant activity result of review are result. Untuk black garlic component, polysaccharide, glucose, protein, phenolic compound, sulfur organic compound, and melanogens. The PPH method search Katzmandu Turkey IC50 value 180 ppm, category weak, and then SIC polyphenols, flavonoid, and ascorbic acid. The PPH method search Bali Indonesia IC50 value 1.529, category very strong. Black garlic component SIC, tetrahydrobeta-carbolines, alkaloids, and flavonoids. The PPH method search Lamongan Indonesia IC50 3475, category weak. Kemudian and then SIC, flavonoids, polyphenol, and asam amino acid. The PPH method Surabaya Indonesia IC50 value 2.41, and then 2.93, and then 2.227. Category fairly strong. Flavonoids, saponins, and tannins. The PPH methods, West Sumatra, Indonesia, 630, 7,795 point value, category very strong, weak, category weak, and then 5 high HMF, sulfur compounds, phenols, and polyphenols. The PPH methods, Katzmandu Turkey, IC50 value 290 and 190, category weak. Kemudian and then polyphenol polysaccharides 5 high HMF. Method DPPH, usually Chinese, IC50 for the 514, category weak. And then polyphenol and SIC, DPPH, Cordoba, Spain, 30, very strong. Polyphenols and phenols DPPH customer Turkey 1.393654, very strong. And then SAMG and SAC DPPH method Tianjin, China 46,600-280, category weak. And then flavonoid and panels method DIP ABTS Katsumanu Songkla Thailand 1.5819, category strong. And then phenols and flavonoid ABTS method Namhaegun Korea IC50 value 6,500 week. And then flavonoids and panels Songkla Thailand method FREP 0.5653, very strong. And then phenols, polysaccharides, glucose, protein, sulfur compounds, and melanoidins. FREP method Nanjing, China, charge engine China's IC50 value 650, category weak. And then discussion. From the result of the literature review that has been obtained, the majority of articles explain that black garlic is a product of garlic development. Making black garlic is done by storing garlic at high temperature and humidity for a certain period of time. Another method is by enzymatic treatment and curing. Compared with garlic, the advantages of black garlic include an increase in S-acetylcysteine contents by 5 to 6 times, longer shelf life, 5 to 8 times higher contents of phenolic compound, and reduction of flavor. According to previous studies, black garlic contains more phenols, flavonoids, and various sulfur compounds such as SiC hydrophilic and disulfide hydrophobic compared with garlic. In addition, SiC has high free radical scavenging activity. This is supported by the literature search result at table 1, which indicates that the content of black garlic is comprised of SiC, flavonoids, polyphenols, and sulfur compounds. Flavonoids have the function of several free radicals such as superoxide anions, peroxide radicals, hydroxyl radicals, and effective alkaloid radicals. Flavonoids also have the ability to bind to metal ions such as iron and copper, which can catalyze the generation of free radicals and catalyze lipid peroxidation. Antioxidant mechanism of flavonoid is as such suppress the reformatting of present oxygen species by defeating enzyme of by binding to element involved in a production of free radicals, reducing reactive oxygen species, protecting the body antioxidants. Antioxidant activity of black garlic is related to the content of phenols and flavonoid compound in black garlic. Various studies have shown that the antioxidant components of black garlic, including polyphenols and total flavonoids, increase significantly before 21 days of aging. Correspondingly, the antioxidant activity of black garlic via DPPH, ABTH, FREP measurement and power reduction test, the highest and the 221 day of aging. Antioxidant activity test using the DPPH method to determine how much activity is required for a sample to reach DPPH stable reduction by donation hydrogen atoms. Antioxidants activity test using the DPPH technique depends on the loss of purple colors due to the decrease in DPPH by antioxidant. The strength of the missing purple colors was estimated with a UV spectrometer at a frequency of 510 nanometer. The oxidant test using the ABTS method is based on the loss of blue color due to the reduction of ABTS by antioxidant. The intensity of this blue color was measured at a wavelength of 750 nanometer. The FRAP test method relies on the reduction of the iron triazine complex to iron triazine by a reduction agent of a low pH of 3.6 feet. TPTZ form a blue colors which can be measured of range of 593 nanometer. This makes it possible to measure all the antioxidant compounds in the sample individual. Conclusion, the potential of black garlic as an antioxidant is determined by the IC50 value. The smaller the IC50 value in black garlic products, the higher the antioxidant activity. This review concludes that the antioxidant activity test using the DPPH, ABTS, and FRAP methods showed an increase in antioxidant activity in black garlic. Testing the antioxidant activity of black garlic with any method showed a fairly good IC50 value. The three methods have their respective advantages as determining antioxidant activity, namely the DPPH analysis method, which is sample fast, easy, and sensitivity to sample with small concentration. ABTS has advantages in providing specific absorbance at visible wavelengths and faster reaction times, and FRAP is simple and inexpensive and does not require the use of proprietary chemical. And then reference using. Okay, thank you, moderator.
Okay, thank you for your presentation. Any question? Okay, no. Okay, can you close the presentation, Miss? Okay, okay, thank you. There's an extra in room 6, yeah, 6 room. Miss Lawrence, I'm sorry, in my list there is no title of your research, but I will add and report it to the committee. Okay, Mr. Lawrence, you can present.
An invited lecturer yesterday, so I'm here to support Mr. James Paul Madigal. And I also teach our MS Biology students for their research methods. So I really want to look into the researches in biology also. So there are actually a lot of researches here that we also conduct in the university, like for the dragon fruit, and also with the black garlic. We have researches in the university also. So I really appreciate the lectures. Thank you.
Okay. 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 Thank you, Mr. Lawrence. The audience, such in the parallel session, even is this seminar. Once again, we thanks to speaker and also all participants who have participated in this seminar activity. Finally, I'm moderator. Announce we going to have ICETECH 3 on the same date of 2022. We waiting for you all next year. Yeah, I hope we can meet again in another seminar. Thank you very much, presenter. And before we close of this seminar, excuse me, we can take a photo together. 1, 2, 3. Once again, with freestyle. Oh, okay, thank you. See you next time.
See you all of this presenter, Mr. Eklerin. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
you.